Allegations bombshell tonight.
An alleged love triangle.
Stepmother Terry Horman, a sexual relationship with Michael Cook. Who's Michael Cook?
It's only reasonable to assume that people would speculate and become suspicious of Terry.
Sexting old school friend Michael Cook.
Kyron, we miss you, we love you, and we need you home right now.
New allegations: stepmom tried to kidnap her baby girl from dad's gym daycare. New search is underway now for 7-year-old Kyron Horman.
I'm kind of at that point where I'm so angry I don't even have words. I just really want her to do the right thing.
Please help us bring Kyron home.
Out to Dr. Joshua Purper. Dr. Purper, searchers are focusing on an area near Skyline School. At this point, if Kyron is dead, what would be the condition of his body?
Well, it depends on what condition the body is found, in what environment. If he's unfortunately left on the surface of the earth, the decomposition is going to be faster if the body is buried or if the body is put in some kind of container. So it depends in what kind of environment and what kind of protective clothing or other equipment the body is encased in.
Another question, Dr. Purper, is that it has been suggested that Terry Horman may have suffered postpartum depression after the birth of the little girl. The little girl is about 19 months old. How long does it take for postpartum depression to set in?
Well, the depression, the depression related to pregnancy varies in lengths, but sometimes it disappears only with the resolution of pregnancy. In other words, after the child is born, and even then, it can take several months. It depends on the general constitution of the individual, of the woman, and whether she receives treatment. But that's a difficult problem because many women, indeed, during pregnancy, for a variety of biological and psychological reasons, suffer of depression.
To Gene Casares. Gene, I want to go back to hiring the hitman to allegedly kill Kyron's father. When did that allegedly happen?
That happened late last year, November, December, and we now know that's the reason for the restraining order. Originally it was sealed, but then it was unsealed. And Nancy, toward your state of mind, here's something else. On June 28th, when she allegedly went to try to abduct her own little girl, Kiara, their little girl, from this gym daycare, that's also the time Michael Cook went over to the house. Police searched his cell phone and found a cell phone image of the address where little Kiara would be with her father, and also they found on that cell phone Google Map searches of where they were residing at that time.
And that says to you that they were going to try to get the little girl.
Two state of minds that are the same. That's exactly right.
And what I don't understand, to Bruce McCain, former captain of the sheriff's office, attorney, joining us out of Portland, Oregon, is why an arrest has not been made in the alleged hiring of a hitman to kill the husband.
Well, Nancy, as I mentioned last week on this very program, you know as well as I do, big difference between probable cause and arrest and proof beyond a reasonable doubt to convict. The thing is, the prosecutors are working hand in hand with the investigators. The DA is actually controlling this process. They are not going to arrest Terry Horman for any felony unless and until they have an airtight case they can get a conviction on. The last thing they want to do is arrest her on some chippy charge, only to see her turn around and walk out of the jail with all the cameras on her. So the fact that she's not been named a suspect or even a person of interest, which, as you know, has no legal significance at all, doesn't mean she's not the focal suspect in this case.
What about it, Ann Bremner?
Well, I was just thinking to myself, hiring a hitman is not a chippy charge. But the other thing about it is that, you said before she's not a suspect. She's also not been named a person of interest. So the fact of the matter is, she's as innocent as anybody else walking the street in Portland right now, and everyone's throwing stones at her. I mean, I'm saying everything relevant.
I asked you everything that has been irrelevant has not been arrest in the hitman case. And you're talking about people looking at her on the street. I don't care.
No, it's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying that everybody's dumping on her in terms of saying that she's guilty of all kinds of irrelevant evidence. And the fact is there's been no arrest in the hitman case because they don't have the evidence.
I know that you've handled a lot of cases, but just because you think the evidence is irrelevant doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. Right now,
it's so.
Go ahead.
It's so salacious. It's not what I think. I think is what is it going to be admissible in court? And by the way, the standard right now is probable cause. They don't need proof beyond a reasonable doubt, and they haven't called her a person of interest at the lowest standard.
I've said that about 10 times that she's not been named a suspect. Out to the lines, Dorian in Georgia. Hi, Dorian.
Hi, Nancy. I love your show.
Thank you, Dorian. What's your question, dear?
Okay, well, I was wondering, do they know the whereabouts, Michael Cook's whereabouts on the day that Kyron...
Now that is a good question. What about it? To you, James Pitkin with the Willamette Week newspaper, where was Cook?
I talked to Kyron Horman. He said that he hadn't seen Cook for years. Only after Kyron disappeared did he contact the family wanting to help. So it's uncertain where he was that day, even whether he was aware that the Hormans lived in the vicinity.
And Michael Cook is the husband's high school friend that has gotten hundreds of sexually related text messages from the stepmother and dozens of sexually explicit photos sent over email and phone. He says they're not having sex. Okay, we're switching gears, but I want to give you that tip line, 503-261-2847. There is a 25